Hey, what's going on, everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech. So today we're going to be talking about $50 Mono White Angels in Pioneer. I'm very excited to bring this list to you. A couple things before we get started, though. So the first thing is, this deck was really tough to make for $50. For those who don't know the main Angel deck in Pioneer, the deck is crazy expensive. There's a lot of pricey cards in it from cards that have never been reprinted. So it was very tough to get it in the $50 budget, but we were able to do it. So there are definitely some cards that we would normally play more copies of, but we weren't able to just for budgetary reasons, essentially. And then, as always, deck list is in the description below if you'd like to check out the deck for yourself. And also, pretty much all the cards I posted on in the actual picture is the cheapest version for the most part. So if you're interested in picking up the deck, it'll make things a lot easier for you. So all right, we're going to hop into it here. So we do technically have more 1-drops than just Lunarch Veteran, but I decided to put those at the end because they are non-creatures. So our early drops here, we have 4 Lunarch Veteran and 2 Giada Font of Hope. So Lunarch Veteran is a 1/1 for 1 human cleric. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And then it has Disturb 1 white. You may cast this card from your graveyard transformed for its Disturb cost. And then it turns into Luminous Phantom. Flying, whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, you gain 1 life. And then if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Just a really great 1-drop. Helps us get that life gain going, which is going to be a big theme of this deck. Then we're playing 2 Giada Font of Hope. It's a 2/2 for 1 and a white. Legendary creature Angel. Flying and Vigilance. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Then we could tap it for a white. Spend this mana only to cast an angel spell. So, quick thing on Giada. So, Giada is normally a 4 in this deck, but it's one of the somewhat pricier cards of the deck, so we were only able to fit in 2 copies, but believe me, Giada is definitely worth playing 4 copies, but if you're on a budget, we're fitting 2, which is still fine. We have some other very spicy 2-drops that are in the deck here that we're going to see on the next slide. So, we have 4 Ajani's Pridemate, 2/2 for 2, Cat Soldier. It's not an angel, but man, it's just that good. Whenever you gain life, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Ajani's Pridemate. This card gets out of hand really, really fast. We have a lot of life gain in this deck, so Ajani's Pridemate is going to get very, very, very big, and that's why we're playing it. So it's just that good. For those who have played Arena in the last couple years, you probably know how out of hand Ajani's Pridemate can get in a deck like this. Then we're playing 4 Angel Vitality, finally to our 3-drops. It's a 2/2 for 2 and a white with flying. If you would gain life, you gain that much +1 instead. Angel of Vitality gets +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life. We're playing a lot of incremental life gain cards, so this card over time is just going to gain us so much more life. Plus, it's a angel that's a 3-drop that's very inexpensive, so that's why we are playing the Angel of Vitality. Then we're playing 4 Guardian of Ghirapur. It's a new card from March of the Machine. It's a 3/3 for 2 and a white with flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 other target creature or artifact you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Just a really good flicker card. We're playing cards in our deck that are very, very good when we flicker them, which obviously those are going to be like on the next slide. So just a fantastic card in general. It's, just a solid body overall. It's kind of like a 3-mana Restoration Angel. That was the word I was looking for. But obviously Restoration Angel is sadly not in the format yet. It's only a matter of time until it is. But anyways, for right now, we have Guardian of Ghirapur. So, rounding out our creatures here, we have 4 Resplendent Marshal, 4 Righteous Valkyrie, and 1 Legion Angel. Resplendent Marshal is a 3/3 for 1 white Angel Warrior with flying. When it enters the battlefield or dies, you may exile another creature card from your graveyard. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control other than Resplendent Marshal that shares a creature type with the exiled card. Long story short, if there's an angel in our graveyard, we get to give all of our other angels a 1/1 counter. Just a solid creature in general from Kaldheim. I find it very funny that the mythic one is actually less good than the rare one, which is our next card, Righteous Valkyrie. It's a 2/4 for 2 and a white with flying Angel Cleric. Whenever another angel or cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. As long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2. So This card is absolutely bonkers. It's the best card in our deck, hands down. It's not even close. We gain so much life from this card if our opponent can't take it down, and then it also anthems our creature if we get to 27. I mean, this card is it's absolutely nuts. I can't say enough good things about Righteous Valkyrie. It's just that good. I mean, I could go on for hours talking about how ridiculous this card is. Our opponent has to kill it on the spot, otherwise they are going to lose to this card. In our last card here, it's our only 4-drop in the deck. It's 1 Legion Angel. It's a 4/3 for 2 white Angel Warrior with flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a card you own named Legion Angel from outside the game and put it in your hand. So, spoiler alert, in our sideboard, we are going to be playing some Legion Angels, so that way we can just keep the angelic pressure going. I really like Legion Angel. I've played it a lot in my version of Angels in Pioneer, the non-budget list, and man, the card is just so good. I mean, it takes over games. I mean, you play one, you draw it, you're in very good shape. So, we have one more slide here for our main deck besides our lands. We're playing 4 Fountain of Renewal. It's a 1-mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. Then we can tap 3, sacrifice Fountain of Renewal to draw a card. It's one of those incremental life gain cards. It's really good with Ajani's Pridemate and our Angel of Vitality, because we're gaining 2 life with Angel of Vitality instead, and we're putting +1/+1 counters on Ajani. It also helps us get to the 27 life for our Righteous Valkyrie, so just a fantastic card in general. And then late game, whenever we need some card draw, we just go ahead and we pay 3, sacrifice it, and put it and draw a card. It's just a great card in general. Then we're playing 4 Ossification, 1 and a white enchantment. It's from Phyrexia All Will Be One. This card is absolutely incredible. Enchant basic land you control. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until Ossification leaves the battlefield. So, just a fantastic card in general. Spoiler alert, we are playing a ton of basics in this deck, so therefore we are able to put this on just any of our lands, essentially. So, I'm really happy that we get to play this card. It almost seems like it's a card that incentivizes us playing on a budget for the most part, which is kind of funny, but it's just great in general. So I'm very happy that we're playing Ossification. It's a very, very, very good card. Then we're playing 3 God's Willing, 1 white instant. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. And then we scry 1. Just a fantastic card. It's basically just a protection spell for the most part for our angels and such. We would be playing Brave the Elements, but unfortunately that card is just not in our budget. So as our budget option, we're playing God's Willing. Just a great card still to be playing in general. So that's our main board, except for our lands here. We're playing 19 plains and 3 Field of Ruins. So Field of Ruin, we can tap it for a colorless, or we can tap 2 and tap it, sacrifice it, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Each player searches their library for a basic land card and puts it onto the battlefield. This card essentially is to blow up like Thespian Sage and Nykthos is pretty much the main reason. You're not doing much other than that. I mean, obviously, you can take out some man lands and such. There's some decent targets for Field of Ruin. We had some room to play a couple of like utility lands, and Field of Ruin is essentially the one I decided to go with. But yeah, and then the plains also, I feel like every deck tech I do, I talk about a battle bond, or not a battle bond, a jumpstart land. This is the Angel land from Jumpstart. If you're looking for a very flavorful basic land to play, this is the one I personally recommend. So that's our main board. I feel like that was really, really fast. We're going to hop into our sideboard here. We only have 2 slides for our sideboard. We've got 3 Tormod's Crypt, 0 mana artifact. We can tap it and sacrifice it to exile target player's graveyard. I feel like I talk about this every deck tech I do because the card's just that good. You play it when your opponent's playing artifact shenanigans. Next. 3 Damping Spheres, 2 mana artifact. If a land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces colorless instead of any other type and amount. Each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that player has cast this turn. Fantastic against decks that are playing a ton of spells in one turn. Like Izzet Phoenix, it's good against Mono Green Devotion because it shuts down their land for making a bunch of mana. Same with Lotus combo. That's essentially why we're playing the Damping Spheres. Then our 3 Legion Angel. Those are the wish ones from our sideboard, obviously, that we bring in. And what's great is they just chain. We get one from the sideboard, we play another one. Oh, hey, we play another one, and we get a third one. So it's just a great card in general, and it's in our sideboard. Easy money. Then we have 2 Containment Priests, 1 and a white 2/2 Human Cleric. I would like to know it is a cleric, so we can gain life from our Righteous Valkyrie from that. worth noting. Then as Flash, if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Long story short, this is good against the Temur Creativity and the Traxa Neoform deck. You know, like, oh, I'm going to Neoform. Okay, Containment Priest. That can resolve. Go ahead and do your thing. Just a great card in general to be playing. It stops those decks right in their tracks. They're not able to put their dudes in play, assuming that they don't have like a fatal push for the Containment Priest. So just a great card to be playing in general. And it's really inexpensive for how good this card is. Then we're playing 2 Destroy Evil. 1 and a white instant. Destroy target creature with toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. Obviously, a lot of flexibility with a card like this. We can bring it in and play it against like Mono Green Devotion because they're playing a lot of enchantments. We can destroy like any of those pesky Cavaliers or Old Growth Trolls. Really, any monster deck we bring this in any deck that's playing relevant enchantments. Pretty simple, just a fantastic card to be playing. And then rounding out our sideboard, we have 2 Disenchant. 1 and a white instant, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Just, it's pretty simple. Any deck that plays a lot of artifacts and enchantments that we want to destroy, we bring it in. I mean, enough said on the card. Just a fantastic, flexible card. It's been around since the beginning of Magic, and it's still a solid card. So, alright, well, that takes us to the end of the video here. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this episode of Pioneer Deck Tech. I feel like we're doing about like 2-3 deck techs a week. I had a lot of fun building this one, and as always, the deck list is in the description below for those who are interested in checking out the list. And also let me know in the comment section below, is there a deck that you'd like to see me build, budget or non-budget, for like Pioneer or Modern? Just let me know in the comment section below. I'm Commander Crane, and I'll catch you in the next video.